Yo, Longhairs. Welcome to the Longhairs podcast. Let it ride. Here, we talk long hair and business, advocate for hair equality, answer questions from the field, and celebrate men's long manes with hair whips and high fives. If you're a guy with long hair, you're in the right place. I'm El Garvinsky, here at the Longhairs HQ with El Moreno.
Yo.
El Rubio.
Yo.
In this episode, we bring you another guest on the Longhairs Professional Series, where we interview professional men with flow, illustrating one guest at a time that you can be a successful man with long hair. That it's not the length of your locks that counts, but your depth of character and resolution of purpose. Today's guest is a multidisciplinary artist, designer, and craftsman, homegrown in San Diego. Ooh. He dives in artwork about pop culture and traversing the spaces between nostalgia and the unknown. He is the founder and owner of a local mural project, Yardwork SD, which brings together artists of multiple calibers to his backyard to create some epic pieces. And we have the pleasure to have our good friend here on the Let It Ride podcast, Regan Russell.
Yo! Yeah, bro. What up, dog?
What up?
Dude, been trying to line this up for a while. At least we have in our heads, and we finally gave you a call, got you in. We are stoked.
This is awesome. Thanks for having me, y'all.
Yeah, why not just bring us up to speed a little bit, kind of origin story, what brought you to this point, got you into artwork, and to the Longhairs headquarters.
Sure. Yeah, I've known you guys a long time, but I think, I started art, basically when I was a baby, I guess. A long time. But I studied at UCSD, studied art there. I was working part-time and then full-time in like a government job, which was like really lackluster and wasn't really fulfilling for anything. And then I hopped into a startup that a friend of mine was running.
Right.
After that, Knock Around Sunglasses, which you guys know pretty well.
Right.
And then when that ended, I kind of switched over and kind of circled back around to art again, because that's kind of what I knew and that's kind of what I loved and that's what I'm really passionate about. So
now through all that time, when you're going through those different phases and all this stuff, I mean, was art always there? Were you always painting and drawing and keeping it sharp?
Yeah, a little bit. I was probably just through my connections with school and stuff, I was probably in a show here or there like once a year or something.
Okay.
So, but I wasn't really making all that much work.
Yeah.
But like working at a startup, that's cool because it's like pretty fulfilling on a number of levels. So that like kept me satisfied for a really long time. And yeah.
Question about school, because college is whatever college is.
Yeah.
At going in as an artist, going to specifically like art schools and getting whatever degrees you got in that, what are the major benefits? Because like I want to go back to how you said you've been an artist since you're a kid.
Yeah. What
were the big jumps, if any, did you take in college, or what was great about going and doing art school like that?
I mean, art is something I've always known and I've always like felt really comfortable doing.
Yeah.
And so it never felt like a leap. It was scary in the sense that like what the fuck am I going to do after, I guess,
sure.
But I think everybody feels that way about college and stuff. It's like, you're in college to like hang out and party and like meet new people and network and stuff. Like that's really what college is for. So like, unless you're like studying to be an engineer or something
specific,
something really specific,
or a doctor or something like that.
Yeah, but I can even you can study those things and still want to change what you do after college.
Sure.
So I think for me it was just I felt comfortable in art, and that's why I kept going with it. Something I'd been doing for a long time, and the fear of what I was going to do after didn't really change how I felt,
right?
Like how strongly I felt about doing art, forever. Because I really feel like I'm going to do art forever. That's
awesome.
I had a question. During your hiatus, because of work, and concentrating on a startup. Where'd you find the time to kind of like hone the craft still? Because your work is very detailed. If you don't practice, if you don't keep it, you could see the misses.
Sure. When I came back to it, I was just a shitty artist. So, it's like anything else. It's like you kind of got to get back into it. But it's also somewhat like riding a bike, I guess. But, there's all that time in between where you're not thinking about it. So, like when you do think about it, then, everything, all your horizons kind of expand and things. So, that's what's exciting now is like, oh, now I can focus on it. I'm not doing it like piecemeal.
Yeah.
Right.
And, it's like basically like running a business, I guess, So, it's like all my energy is going into it and things. So it's a lot of learning and things. So, yeah.
Definitely.
Let's jump into the style. It's very apparent.
Yeah.
Like there's humor. And it's just like kind of, absurd sometimes.
Yeah.
And, where's that from? Where's that come from?
It's going to sound all cliche, but it's, it's like I don't really want to take myself too seriously. And,
right.
And I think the things that I like are never really that serious.
Yes.
And, I like comic books and movies and, music and hip hop and things like that. So it's like all those things are, they ground myself in my world. So I'm never going to take that stuff too seriously because I'm just kind of a chill dude.
Sure.
So, and I like, everybody likes a laugh. Everybody likes to enjoy what they're experiencing and stuff too. So I think that, it's like art is about connecting with your audience as well too. So
totally.
Badass.
Speaking of our audience, just for anyone who's listening, help describe a little bit what form of art are you painting mostly, and is there somewhere we could look along to?
Yeah, my website's just reganrussell.com, and that's also my Instagram, Regan Russell. And I like Garv kind of mentioned earlier, I'm pretty multidisciplinary. I'm pretty all over the place, and that probably speaks to just my newness to kind of working, in the last few years and kind of making this career my own. It's like you kind of, you reach out everywhere a little bit. Right. I don't know if the Longhairs ever felt like that in the beginning, but you guys started, you're a niche already.
Yeah,
You guys started as a niche. So, but now it's all about finding your niche and stuff. So it's like I feel comfortable doing a lot of these different ways of working, but I know that I'm probably going to narrow it down at some point. I imagine. But
it seems like you have a lot of portraits or kind of human focused centerpieces in your stuff. The concepts too you put together, like the Ice Cube, Kermit the Frog on the rainbow. That one is just all-time classic. Well, let's look at that piece for example. Do you kind of have that idea already before you start going, or do you kind of just I'm going to do Ice Cube and then let it kind of go from there?
Yeah, sometimes there's always like a catalyst, I think, and that piece was spawned from I was invited to be in a show that was actually about like Muppets and hip hop actually. So
really,
wow, what a combo.
Yeah. So and they were kind of mixing that already. They'd like and it was kind of like on this hip hop like tip or something. So that was like the theme of the art show.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'll do it. And then, kind of just sitting around, kind of thinking of things. Yeah. And I guess the Muppet came first. Kermit came first. Then, I think I went to Rainbow Connection because I was thinking of music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, West Side Connection. I'm from the West Side.
Nice.
And then Ice Cube is in West Side Connection. Bam. Boom. Yeah. And that's,
nailed.
And so, like the name is perfect, West Side Rainbow Connection.
So, I didn't promise anybody
And sometimes, like, a good pun is, like, all you need to kind of go with.
Yeah.
And, lots of people love that piece. And I think it's very nostalgic and kind of hits on a lot of levels for people. So I'm glad people like that piece a lot.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Now that was a digital piece in your portfolio. Now I know, the new iPads came out, and that was kind of like a hot thing for artists, right?
Yeah.
To like switch over from that. We're friends with a lot of the tattoo guys.
Yeah.
And that was like they all say they were a little reluctant at first, but then once they realized, they were like, oh man, this is like, I'm never can't go back.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like more important than like, owning a house or something like it's or whatever.
Wow.
It's like, the iPad total game changer. And I never worked digitally before. And when I got an iPad, it was just like, also kind of scary how easy it was just to like jump into it.
Okay.
But I had some familiarity with like, Photoshop and kind of all the Adobe programs and stuff.
Yeah.
But this was like, it's like, it felt like drawing or something. Yeah. Just really smooth, and I don't know how to describe this in like layman's terms to like everybody who isn't familiar, but it just felt like, drawing in a sketchbook or something, in the beginning, and then it was like, whoa, I can actually do crazy shit in here.
Right.
That's not, just drawing in a sketchbook. So,
right.
So total game changer. Yeah.
That's rad.
The digital portraits are incredible, man. These are
thanks,
just
man. Thank you.
really beautiful
Thank you.
features.
Getting it, I mean, this is kind of a hot topic right now, and since we're kind of in the digital space, I wanted to ask you about this. NFTs and
Sure.
the whole game of that and where that's going. Like, is that part of your future, or are you into that now, or where are you at with that as an artist?
I'm nowhere with that right now.
Okay.
But I am, it's on the periphery. I'm like listening, and
Sure.
I'm not just like, no, I'm never gonna do an NFT or something it's not like that at all.
Yeah.
I think crypto's here to stay. I think that is just a totally another place for us to do our work in. And whatever in, So I'm excited to see what happens with that. It's
got to be exciting as an artist, right? Because it's like this new avenue to have a revenue stream that just never existed before.
Absolutely.
And that's a huge part of being an artist. Like, who do I sell my work to?
Absolutely. And there's it kind of validates digital artwork too, where, before, anytime before this, traditional artists or, working artists might frown upon digital art as like a true medium or something.
Yeah.
So that's just like a big win for that medium.
Yeah.
And it's dope. I mean, I'm not against it. But I don't know much about it.
So
to be honest,
Regan Russell maybe making a jump into the
digital
NFT takeover.
Yeah.
Complete.
Yeah, I want to be like, energy conscious and stuff too.
Sure.
So, I know some of it takes a lot of energy. I don't know. Like, so that's also why I haven't really,
it is confusing and a huge new world you got to learn about for sure.
For sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Now let's get into, going from like paper and, indoor pieces to now moving outdoors to doing murals.
Sure.
Let's
do it.
Like where did the spark, like obviously having a bigger canvas is pretty dope for an artist.
Yeah.
So, like what was your thing? You're like, hey, it's time to do murals.
Yeah. I mean, when I was, I got to go out to Powwow, Hawaii a few times.
Okay.
And visited Powwow, Long Beach, which are big mural festivals, basically.
Yes. Yes.
When I was working for Knockaround, and that was awesome to see. Like I was familiar with some of the artists, and I was, I knew what a mural was, but I'd never really seen it at that level or that kind of skill too. Like seeing those guys go out and like work. For one, they work super fast. And two, the scale is amazing. Just huge artwork. It's just awesome, and it's like all over the place. So, and that was just kind of always stuck around with me.
Right.
And I've seen, I just kind of followed everybody, here locally too, kind of breaking into working in larger pieces and murals and things, and I happened to kind of get a couple of opportunities to work on murals myself, with Art Reach San Diego. They're a nonprofit here, and they have an awesome mural program. And that kind of was like, that just really was like, wow, this is cool. It's a lot of work, but you feel it's that much more satisfying because you're just working on this big ass thing.
Yeah.
And it's like dope, it's just fun. And yeah, so that leads me to what? Yard work?
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty much. Yeah.
So tell us the concept of yard work and
Sure.
what you're trying to do there and
Sure.
what you got going.
Sure. Yard work, I started that earlier this year. It basically started like I wanted to have a space for me to practice working larger myself.
Yeah.
And then, I've just been inviting friends or friends of friends to spend a weekend working on it.
Okay.
And they're all on canvas. And kind of the goal is to just give like working artists just a space to work on something with like the freedom to work on something without having to answer to anybody. So it's not like a commercial project where you have to have revisions or something. It's pretty free form, and they get to work on their creative practice and stuff. So that was something I wanted, and I had a backyard, which not a lot of people have. So especially in San Diego. So that's it.
It's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Now when the project's done there, do you keep the canvas? You give it to the artist? You try to sell it? What's the
Yeah, I'm still working out all that.
Okay. Because it would be dope, huh, to have a whole collection of everything
all over there.
Yeah, dude, I have them all, and they're all on canvas. I roll them up, and I have them safely stored in my garage.
Okay.
And so I'll do that, I guess, until I run out of room.
Yeah.
And like the big goal would be to like have a show or something.
Yeah.
And I've been telling artists that like this is yours. This thing that you did on this canvas is yours. If you like want to use it, put it up someplace, you find somebody that wants to buy it, it's yours, and whatever proceeds you get are yours too. So because at this point I can't pay them or anything, but but like I feed them and kind of make it a cool environment and kind of pamper them a little bit while they're there. That would be,
dude, that show is going to be cracking. And then what a great way to give back to the community too. It just in general of art fans in San Diego, but then all these artists coming together and seeing all the pieces together in one physical place, dude. That's going to be cracking.
And they're huge. Like they're 8x8, so it's like they're big. So
are you shooting all the video that's on like your Instagram and stuff too?
I actually have a friend, his name's Peter, and he's been coming by and he does kind of on the side like some video editing and stuff. And,
cool.
And we've just been hanging and things, and that's also like, this is like, I want to treat yard work like a commune or something. Like, like it's like, a shared kind of space where, like I've been taking photos, so like the artists don't have to take photos, everything's about creating content these days and things. And it's super hard to do that when you're just working on a big ass mural. It's like, oh, now I still got to like take photos and shit. Like, so you're just tired and stuff. You don't want to do any of that stuff. So I'm taking pride in taking photos. Peter, my homie, he's coming in doing video. And like down the road, it's like, well, maybe I'll ask somebody else who's a photographer if they want to come in and shoot a little bit, and that can be their own content, and they can also share it with the artist or something. So so that's how we're building, or that's how I want to build community, right? Like just kind of sharing all that stuff, and things. So I mean, you see it like in like the wedding industry too. Like they have like those crazy photo shoots where it's like it's a florist, it's a a cake designer, it's a photographer, it's all those people, and then they just like share their resources. So why can't we do the same thing, I guess?
Dude, move. It's awesome, man. I think you're really onto something there. It's super killer. Guys, if you want to check out the project, yardworksd.com is the website. He's getting that going. He's got a solid base there, got some products. You could buy some prints of what the artists have done, but probably to be all up in the action and getting the latest updates is going to be Yardwork SD on Instagram. So super cool project, man. I think that's just
Thanks, man.
killer. Oh, one last question on this I have.
Yeah.
Are you only inviting like professional artists, or are you inviting like just anybody you want, or
Yeah, can I come?
you know, could the Longhairs get a spot in there?
Yeah.
Big hair whip portrait.
Yeah, it's like it's totally open right now, man. So like, if you guys want to come out there and just like, dip your hair in some paint and like throw it up on the canvas or
Dude,
something.
that would
You
be
know.
interesting.
I do that with you guys.
Okay.
Sick.
All right.
Yeah.
You did say freeform, right? So
Yeah, it's pretty free form.
It's
Yeah.
free form.
Yeah.
you could go all out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something else.
Well, we're stoked that you're gonna have underground murals
Yeah.
come by.
Yeah.
Ground floor.
floor.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Ground floor
Yeah, I
murals.
was blanking there. Ground floor murals. I knew I said it wrong. I knew
They
I
do
said
do
something
underground stuff, so
Yeah, yeah.
you're on there. You're pretty close. Hey,
Yeah.
so you
Ground
got a Facebook fan group, right?
I do. I have a Facebook fan group. They're
called
awesome.
Regan
No
Russell
way.
Art Collectors.
wrong. Yes.
What's that about, man? Like,
Well, that was started. Man, I don't even remember now. 2018 or something.
Yeah.
Maybe? 2018 maybe. And it was started by somebody who I didn't know at the time, but
Yeah.
who I'm friends with now, as like a commission group where they like wanted me to make a piece of art
yeah,
for them.
yeah,
And then it kind of just grew a little bit, and that Facebook group has just been really kind and nice to me. They're all like poster collectors and
Yeah.
sick.
kind of like music poster collectors
Yeah.
and things, so tour posters and all sorts of stuff like that. So it's a totally different kind of scene, but it's cool. Everybody's really friendly and they've been really cool. I post there too. I probably post. I haven't been posting there as much lately, but like when I do, it's like a little more intimate.
Yeah.
I'm a little more like forthright with some
Yeah.
info and
Sure.
things like that. So that's how I feel about those guys. Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
so cool. Like, just have all the community in one little place, so you can
Yeah.
put one message out, kind of
Yeah.
even private, like you said, like being able to say stuff maybe you wouldn't put on your Instagram or whatever.
Yeah.
That's rad.
And it's cool. It's just like so many avenues to pursue your work.
Yeah.
Or like
Yeah.
push your work out. It's kind of hard to keep up with all the time, but those avenues are totally there, if you want it.
Totally.
Yeah.
Dude, what I really love about what you got going on, and a lot of people say like, I want to be an artist, right? And then but at the end of the day, like anything, it just comes down to the work. Like, you
Absolutely.
got
Yes.
to put in the work,
Yes.
And you're a great example of a guy who's putting in the work. And like, when I see that community, the first thing I think about is like, over time, that value, like that's going to bring the value that yard work is, the value that your own personal projects and stuff, like it's just going to be so big, dude. And
I hope so,
just
man.
keep working, that's all you got to do.
Yeah, I'm a pretty modest dude, but yeah, I agree with you, and I, I don't know. Am I giving advice here? Maybe.
Yeah.
Just work your
Just
ass
go
off.
for it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it is, and art's hard because it's like, I think the most, like, the thing that all artists feel is the sensation where you don't want to start something.
Sure.
And I think that applies to a lot of different
lot.
things.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
The resistance.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So it's like, you got to take that leap, right?
Yep.
Kind of have a little bit of faith in what you're doing,
No doubt.
knowing that thing might not be perfect, but it's going to lead you on the path to some sort of perfection or something.
Sure. Or the next step,
Yeah,
maybe,
whatever.
or
Just
yeah.
whatever the next thing is. It
Yeah.
doesn't have to be perfection. It's just you're just moving towards whatever goals you've set for yourself. So
Yeah.
Have you read The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield?
I haven't.
Dude, we just
I don't know
that's
how
the
to
second
read.
time it's come up. in
We
the
gotta
last
send him
month
a
or so.
copy,
No, we
dude.
gotta get like
We gotta
10
get-
copies.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
You just
hook me up.
described it basically
Yeah,
in
hook
a
me up.
nutshell, just the resistance and all the forces.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I shouldn't do it for new projects.
Yeah.
It's a new writing thing. I don't know.
Yeah, or like, oh, I gotta do these 5 other things first before
Yeah.
I start that.
Yeah. Like
Yes.
too much research. Yeah. That's totally a thing. Yeah. Yeah.
Or I got to do laundry before I get to
Yeah,
do
yeah.
anything. I got to clean
Oh, you
my
know,
desk
yeah,
off.
exactly. I gotta organize these papers before I really get into the.
Yeah.
Dude,
Gotta take
so-
a bath first. Epsom salt bath and yeah.
So another form on your website are these portals. I'm assuming this
Yeah.
is a portal that I saw over on your other side.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
your header image for your Facebook group, which is just freaking awesome, by the way.
Thank you.
This is beautiful.
Appreciate it.
Can't say I've ever seen portals before. Can you tell us
Yeah.
what are these? And yeah,
Yeah, so
Dope,
I've
dude.
been making these these sort of different artworks where I like construct a frame basically that goes over a painting. Most of the time they're circles. I think they've all been circles actually. And that was just me trying to solve the problem of like I didn't want to frame stuff or I didn't want to like have a frame or I didn't like I wasn't really working on like stretched canvas and things, so that's kind of a technical thing, but I just wanted something to look finished and nice and feel kind of beefy, and I also like working woodworking and stuff too, so I wanted to kind of like combine that effort as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just love this idea that it's like you're looking through like a portal.
That's sick.
You
Yes.
you do the work in the. So you do the frame and then you do it, or you put the frame over after
yeah,
you're done.
so I put the frame over it
Okay.
because that would be
Yeah, I was
hell
thinking.
on earth.
how far out does it go?
So those are like those
Is it the
are
full? It's not the full square. Is it?
no. I go like when I'm painting, I probably only go over like
An inch
a
or
quarter
something.
inch or
Okay.
something. Yeah, like I'm
Come on,
I'm
let's not-
efficient too. You know? It's like
right. Not going to be seen.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah. I love this idea, and something I probably will pursue more going forward. And yeah.
But what if you did finish the whole thing out and then you really are looking through a portal, so you can't see everything that's there, you just have this vision through the portal. Maybe
Chris,
taking
are
it
you an
too
artist?
far here, but some people might want to, I'd better just
He
go
did
another
all the
couple
reading already.
inches all the way out.
War of
I
Art,
like
all that.
I actually kind of like that. Like what you could, or like what I've thought of before is like instead of it being like a wood portal, what if it was like a piece of acrylic or something?
Sure.
Like, so you still can tell there's like a
Something.
window or
Yeah,
something, but
yeah.
like you got this thick old piece of acrylic on there.
That would be sick.
So then I would have to finish it.
Yeah.
I guess that would be on me to do that.
Not to add that
Yeah,
on.
thanks for
Stick
giving
to
me
the
more work. I appreciate it.
process
Yeah.
here. Keep it going. These
not
are
done.
beautiful,
Yeah, it's
man.
not done.
Well,
yeah,
thank
these
you.
are super rad.
Yeah, and then this is the kind of conversation. This is when you make one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is what you want.
Yeah.
You want to have conversations like this about it and be like, oh, what am I going to do next?
For sure.
So we're sparking.
We're having
ideas
like
in
an
you,
art
huh?
critique right now,
Yeah.
guys. I
Yeah.
don't know if you guys ever been part of one, but thank you.
Oh
This is
yes,
part of
we
something.
have.
Great critique area.
Yeah.
Hey.
One more I have to ask about
Yeah.
here. If we go over to the shop and the prints, we have Kiefer as David, one of my all-time favorite movies.
Yeah. Little Lost Boys.
Yes, dude. Tell us about this.
I was doing
He's just
that.
staring at me right in the
Yeah.
eyes.
Yeah, I mean, I love that movie too, and so every once in a while I'll just like sit back and just like do a portrait of a character I like, and this just so happened to be David from the Lost Boys, and like this isn't very big, and it's more of like a practice thing, so it's like I wanted to work in ink or something, so let me try this portrait and see how it goes, and I liked it enough to sell it to someone.
It's sick.
And that's all part of the practice, I guess. Yeah.
Nice, man.
What's the gnarliest commission you've ever been requested to do?
Oh man.
It's got to be the kids museum. Well, I don't know, but that kids museum, we didn't talk about that.
Oh yeah. Going
Downtown, right? Or
yeah, the new children's museum.
Children's Museum.
Yeah.
Phenomenal, dude.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yes.
Appreciate
sick.
it.
That was
cool.
super killer to see you on TV. We were so stoked, dude.
I was so nervous. Almost as nervous as I am right now. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, not quiet.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like 5 a.m. and I was like, I'm barely awake. Yeah.
Like, hi.
Yeah.
Was that the biggest physical commission that you've had?
No, actually, I did like one for a school earlier this year that was even bigger. But that one's pretty big, and I like that one a lot because it's really different. You know, it's like all clear vinyl, and I don't know. It was super different because I designed it and then somebody else installed it. So like I didn't have to do that work. Because originally we were gonna do. I had signed on with the New Children's Museum to do like some classes and kind of design like a workshop and things. But then that was right before everything shut down.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
And so then it switched to, hey, do you want to make a mural in the same space? And I was like, okay, let's do it. You know, so I designed it and like I went and. I felt kind of like an ass because like I went while the dude was just installing it. And I was kind of standing there like,
I'm the boss here.
Yeah, looks good. But I was like, he did it super fast, and I was like, dang, like that's why you hire professionals to do the shit that you don't know how to do.
Yeah, so that's what he specialized in, like the vinyl type installs. Okay.
Yeah, I can't remember his handle to plug him right now, but he was super nice, and he did all sorts of commercial stuff like car wraps, I think.
Okay.
All that stuff, So So he was super good at doing that, and I was just like, whoa. He made it look really, really good. He made it look exactly how I designed it.
Yeah.
And then looking at it from the inside is insane. Like it just kind of like gets crazy bright and stuff. Like against the light.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that was cool. Yeah.
Pretty incredible.
Did you work with was that the first time you met that guy when he was actually installing, or did you guys have a little meetup like, hey, here's how I want to make sure? No,
I just
let it rip.
Like I didn't even show. Yeah, I didn't even show up on time. Like I showed up late, and like he was like, partially
almost done.
Yeah. And I was just like, wow, it looks really good.
Like, all right,
dude, that's cool.
Clean your hands.
Yeah.
You're out.
Yeah. I mean, it's like I would love to learn how to do something like that. Like that's just how I am.
Yeah.
But when you're trying to just manage your time and stuff,
sure,
you can just see how letting somebody else do it, who's a pro, who's put the time in, who's put the effort in, do it. Yeah. So I don't know how to install vinyl. That's basically what it comes down to.
Yeah.
But this guy did, and he,
huge help.
Yeah. He made my work look really awesome. So
cool. Yeah. That shot of you on the inside when the sun's coming in, and like that one, that's just such a great shot.
Yeah, it's cool.
All right, let's I remember we all met you with short hair, and
let's
when did this
journey... let's get back into the portal of your hair growth.
What sparked it? What was it?
Yeah, so I don't get very many haircuts in general.
Okay.
So I probably get 2 or 3 a year probably.
Yeah.
And I've never really thought about it all that much, and when everything shut down for the pandemic and like you couldn't actually go to a barber or anything. I was just like, I was already maybe a handful of months into not getting a haircut.
Yeah.
And I was just like, let's just go for it. And honestly, I thought about you guys. We go way back and stuff.
Totally.
So I was just like, I'm gonna be a long hair.
Yes.
That was a conscious effort. And there was a weird phase probably somewhere in there, but I'm digging it. I like it.
Looks phenomenal, man.
Oh, thank you.
Great hair.
I appreciate it.
A lot of shine.
Yeah, that's what my wife says, Angela. I don't know if she's jealous or or what. No, she's very. She gives me lots of compliments. She's like, you've got pretty nice hair. It's and some of her girlfriends have said the same thing. So I'm like, do I have nice hair? I guess so.
Has Angela helped as it's got longer, or you've been off
dude.
to find your own ways?
No, I'm constantly asking questions.
Okay.
I'm always like, what do you have that I can use?
Okay.
So yeah,
Good stuff.
I'm just like getting into the point where I care a little bit more about taking care of it or something.
Sure. Yeah.
But Angela's been super helpful, and she's like, I haven't bought anything except for your guys' hair ties.
Okay.
And besides that,
awesome.
you know, like brushes and stuff. I'm just using all her stuff, and you know, whatever shampoo and conditioner and things like that. I'm just like, what do you got?
Oh, we're gonna get you leveled up here to some
cool.
Longhairs shampoo conditioner today.
Nice.
Give it a whirl, you know.
Yeah.
Gonna love it.
We got some pretty good reviews on it, so we'll see how it does with your hair. You
I'm
know,
down.
not making
I'm
any
down.
claims. It's-
Yeah.
You gotta hear it. You know, you gotta give it a try for yourself.
Yeah.
What has been some of any pain points or you know, long hair problems, as we like to talk about?
Like, I'll literally have like a hair tie on my wrist and like not put it up, and I'll like go in to eat food or something, and like I'll get my hair in my food. So that's probably the most annoying thing that I've kind of have been noticing lately.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, actually having to like clean the drain. Share that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Share that responsibility
Yes.
with my
When
wife.
some of it's on you now.
Yeah, it's like,
it's
oh,
different
man.
when you
Yeah.
pull that
Totally
4-foot chunk out.
And if you have the
Not
same
just
color
hers
hair,
anymore.
Just stinks.
Can't
Bunch
deny.
of weird
Right.
things in it.
Right.
yeah.
Man, I've pulled some gnarly ones out. And I'm just like, I couldn't even believe.
Yeah, it's like a
That
horror
it-
movie.
yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
totally.
Do you
Oh
see
man.
yourself ever cutting it?
Yeah, I'm gonna donate my hair. You know, I'm committed to growing it out long enough to donate it.
Great cut, 2024. Can,
Yeah.
we, can we get you there?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. Yeah, and that's. I don't know if I ever would have thought about that unless I had seen you guys doing your first. I think I have only. How many have you guys done?
Just one.
Just one.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
so going to that first one, you know, I probably thought about it.
Yeah.
You know, as I'm growing it out now.
Yeah.
Like, hey, that's a good idea. Let's do that.
Dude,
Yeah.
killer.
Dude, a mural for the great cut, commission mural.
Yes.
Ooh.
Or how about yard work? Just
Yeah.
bring some artists out and they do live murals during
Dude,
the,
cool.
during the
Yes.
show.
Yeah.
Sweet, dude.
And a couple
in the
blank
yard
ones.
work
Yeah.
booth.
Yeah.
And a couple blank ones that just anyone can come up and
That'd
get a
be
little
cool, too.
square. Maybe
Yeah.
have them all sectioned out as
that'd be
squares.
rad.
Oh, I got ideas.
Yeah.
Dude, now we're on to something,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
We're building now.
Yeah.
Love it.
We're
Critique
connected.
to a
All about it.
brainstorm session.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's a done deal.
I bounced through a portal.
Yeah.
Is that the inspiration behind the name, the Deltron 3030? I bounced through a portal lyric.
I don't know. That's not what I was thinking of.
That could
but
be
that's
integrated
cool.
in
Yeah.
here somewhere.
Yeah.
2000
Yeah.
or 99 or
I'm
something.
into it.
How is that even possible that was that long ago?
I know. That album was ahead of its time.
Absolutely.
Way.
In the year 3030.
Yeah. Yeah, Dan the Automator, that dude's the man.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So we got some great concepts here for the Great Cut. It's coming in. We're going to be in 2022 very soon, and that will put us at 2 years
I'm
away.
already getting nervous.
Yes, dude. The icy grip of panic is starting to
We're not going to
close in
start
around
until,
the heart.
the week before. You know how it goes. We just talked about this. No, we'll be on.
We're ready.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
Well, from past experience, we can't do that to ourselves again.
Right.
I don't know if we could survive another year of stress.
Absolutely.
We
not.
pretty much got, like, just to give you a little, we've talked about it a few times on the podcast, but like the real heavy weightlifting part of like making that event happen
Yeah.
started in January, no, December,
I'd say a little bit earlier. I'd say like 5-6 months.
6
Like-
months before the
Like
date.
October, November is
Yeah.
coming. We're like, oh, it's in March.
Yeah.
Dude. No more putting it
man.
off.
Yeah.
We got to get this
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
going.
Yeah.
That's why December 31st we were having that, because we were like, how much ground have we covered really? But then what we just full on like, no, we have there's no other way.
There's
There's
no out.
one way.
Right.
Didn't do it.
Right.
One
And
way.
somehow willed it.
Yeah. That's having like a deadline is
Important.
That, yeah.
super.
That's what I wanted to say.
It is.
Important. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad you guys have set it out all the way out in 2024. now. So it's like now it is on you, right?
Oh,
to,
yeah.
like, have it all in order and stuff.
For sure, and giving ourselves a little what we really learned, like this has already given us enough time to we've already talked about it so much, and we're just gonna keep talking about it, keep getting it ingrained, we got cool shirts that are really picking up steam. We could do more stuff like that. So like the just general awareness is gonna be magnified way more by giving ourselves that 4-year time frame.
Totally.
And
we have several thousand people who already also know about it.
Yeah, and adequate time for everybody who wants to participate to grow their hair.
Right.
Dude, the art is going to make a huge difference.
Yes.
We did really well last time. We had music and food and games and activity and booths and drinks and all, we had a lot of different stuff, but there really wasn't much of an art component. Maybe in the kids area there was like some crafts or something, but not really like an art component for the adults or everyone else who's there. I think that could really bring a lot to the table.
Yeah. Everybody loves live art, and let's do it.
Especially if you could get the kids can contribute or something. That'd be super cool.
Yeah. Dude, thank you for coming in 2019. There are complete erasures in our memory from that day, so I don't always remember everyone
who was there, what happened.
But we're forever sincerely grateful for you being there. I do remember now that you mentioned it, but definitely had to bring up the memory banks a little bit there.
Yeah. I can only imagine how much of a blur it was, being in it and stuff. Yeah,
totally.
Well, 2024, you're going to be there, and your hair is going to be significantly longer at that point. You're going to help us bring an art component to the Great Cut. I mean, we got very promising things ahead here.
So sick.
Portals of flow.
Let's do it. I love that. Portals of flow.
All right, that's it for me.
What would you say are the next steps for yard work? Do you have an upcoming artist or a weekend planned?
Yeah, like they've been kind of going off like every month or every other month. I'm not trying to like blow through all of my connections, right away. And it's also, I'm just trying to manage my own time and stuff. But somebody is working in October. And her name is Kristen Apodaca.
Okay.
I might be murdering her last name.
That sounds right.
But she's actually the first non San Diegan that I have.
Nice.
She's just like a friend that goes back, and she's going to be in town. And I was like, hey, do you want to do the wall? So she's from El Paso. So yeah, she's awesome. Kristen Apodaca. So yeah,
cool.
Look her up.
Great, we got her lined up for the big backyard portal.
Yeah.
Not to mix them up here. Hey, why don't you take a minute, Regan, and just refresh our audience on all the places they can check you out and follow along.
Sure. My personal stuff is at Regan Russell, reganrussell.com. And then Yardwork is yardworksd.com and at yardworksd. And that's it.
All right. And Regan Russell is REGANRUSSELL.
Oh, yeah. I forgot.
Throws you off with a double S and double L, kind of can get people. So.
That's right. And most people don't misspell my first name pretty often, too. So I guess I should have done that. But I appreciate that.
Yeah. No problem. All right, man. Well, dude, it's been awesome. Pleasure having you on the show. Finally, we got you in here, and I'm really excited about collabing in 2024.
Yeah, thank you guys. Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
Let's get this man over to the warehouse. Get him juiced up.
Get him dialed.
What does that mean?
You're gonna find out.
Thanks. Juiced at the warehouse.
Thanks, Garvinsky, for getting us all lined up.
Yeah, brother.
And until next time, boys, keep letting it ride.